Good evening. First at 6, one of the suspected street gang members charged in federal court is now pleading guilty.
This is the 6th conviction under the sprawling new approach to cracking down on violent crime. Investigative reporter Ryan Raich talked to the U.S. attorney, critics who question the strategy, and the families left behind.
On 26th Avenue in North Minneapolis, Harvey Williams found his purpose.
The kids would smile when they seen him.
The 29-year-old father grew up in this neighborhood and was mentoring other young boys at KIPP Academy. But his plans for a future here were cut short by a complicated past.
I can play throughout my head 100 times a day. To know my last words are to be safe, I love you, have a good day.
On September 14th, 2021, investigators say a gang member opened fire on Williams' car while he was behind the wheel. The feds say his murder was a targeted gang hit. Tracy Davis says it was a high school grudge that followed her son. Traffic cameras caught the aftermath as he lost control and landed on I-94.
I went around and I seen him there.
Does that still stick with you?
Every day.
This deadly shooting now detailed in federal court records as part of a long list of murders, attempted murders, and other violent crime.
We are prosecuting street gangs as the criminal organizations they are.
In May, the U.S. Attorney in Minnesota announced his office planned to use the federal RICO Act to cut down on street violence in the Twin Cities. Congress created RICO in the 1970s to dismantle the mafia, but it's never been used in Minnesota on street gangs in the Twin Cities.
How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming.
In an interview with 5 Investigates earlier this year, Andy Luger said he first used the RICO Act while working as a federal prosecutor in Brooklyn in the 1980s, when mob violence was spilling into the streets.
It's a strategy that works. I saw it work, and now I'm bringing it here.
What does RICO mean to gang members?
It means the entire organization is at risk. By simply joining a gang and engaging in gang activity, violence, drug dealing, you're subjected to a statute that applies to the entire gang. And that is a more effective and a more aggressive way to take down the problem.
RICO means gang members can be guilty by association, meaning if one person carries out a violent act, everyone faces the consequences.
Rather than prosecuting one person at a time, one case at a time, we decided to put the extra work, the extra attention and resources toward addressing the gangs as the criminal organizations they are.
How do we know that somebody is or is not a member of an organization?
Fred Getz represents one of the defendants indicted on RICO charges earlier this year.
This was meant to go after the mafia. You had meetings, you had structure, you had organization, and it was defined. That's not the case when you're talking about poor kids from North Minneapolis.
I think there's some in the community who believe that violent crime was surging and something had to be done to drop the hammer. What do you make of that perspective?
Absolutely, absolutely. But let's use a hammer that's fair.
He's not the only one questioning the use of RICO. In 2021, the Berkeley Journal of Criminal Law published this article, arguing that the use of RICO on street gangs sweeps up many people who are not involved in the targeted organizations.
How do you respond to that criticism?
Exactly the opposite. This is not a sweep. By focusing our attention on known active gang members, we're actually limiting the number of people that we're targeting for investigation and prosecution.
Luger insists the weight of the federal government is already leaving a mark. Nearly 60 suspected gang members are currently indicted. At least 5 have pled guilty.
How important to the strategy here is getting people to flip?
It's critical. We can build these cases more easily if people will cooperate, and that's a goal. It's not the only goal. Every single person we charge, we believe deserves federal prison time. That's why we're doing it.
Do you know how many gang members are out there in Minneapolis?
I do.
A ballpark?
I'm not going to tell you. There will be fewer as we go forward.
RICO cases are complex by their very nature, meaning this could take a while. These cases are tied together, but they're all individual cases with their own attorneys. And the other goal here is the message that the feds hope this sends to other people thinking about joining gangs and the potential consequences they could face.
It would be wonderful if it works like the mafia in New York.
We'll see.
We'll find out.